Alexander Chen had purchased the remote cabin in the Cascade Mountains for one reason: complete isolation. After 5 years managing alien integration protocols for the Terran Colonial Authority, he craved silence. The cabin sat 30 miles from the nearest neighbor, surrounded by dense forest and accessible only by a dirt road that became impassable during winter months. Perfect. The previous owner, an eccentric recluse named Henrik Voss, had died without heirs. The property sold cheap. Too cheap, Alexander's realtor had warned. But Alexander didn't believe in curses or hauntings. He believed in solitude, fresh air, and the therapeutic value of splitting firewood. On his third night in the cabin, Alexander discovered why the price had been so low. The floorboards in the living room had been creaking oddly, and when he investigated, he found they weren't properly secured. Beneath them lay a hidden staircase descending into darkness. Alexander grabbed a flashlight and descended, expecting to find a root cellar or perhaps Henrik's illegal moonshine operation. Instead, he found a prison. The underground chamber stretched beyond his flashlight's reach, carved from living rock and reinforced with steel beams. At its center sat a cage, not the crude bars of human construction, but something elegant and alien, formed from what looked like crystallized light. And inside the cage was the most dangerous-looking creature Alexander had ever seen. The being stood 8 feet tall, its body a fusion of organic curves and mechanical precision. 6 arms extended from its torso, each ending in hands that bore both delicate fingers and retractable claws. Its skin was the color of burnished copper, marked with intricate scarification that pulsed with bioluminescent patterns. 2 primary eyes dominated its face, while 4 smaller sensory organs tracked Alexander's movement with predatory focus. A Vortec warrior, Alexander recognized the species from classified TCA briefings, apex predators from the Andromeda Spiral, capable of single-handedly destroying entire human colonies. The Galactic Council had declared them extinct after the Purge Wars 2 centuries ago. The creature spoke, its voice a harmonic blend of tones that Alexander's universal translator rendered into accented English. Another human comes to gawk at the caged monster. Alexander's hand instinctively moved toward his sidearm before he remembered he'd left it upstairs. You speak our language? I have had considerable time to learn. The Vorthak's secondary eyes focused on Alexander's weapon hand. Your predecessor was educational. Henrik kept you here. A sound that might have been laughter emerged from the creature's throat. Keep implies ownership. I am Nora Kaventh, last daughter of the Crimson Fleet. I am not kept by anyone. Alexander studied the cage more carefully. The crystalline structure showed no visible locks or controls, yet it clearly contained the most dangerous predator in known space. If you're not kept, why are you still here? Nora's bioluminescent pattern shifted to what Alexander recognized as amusement. An excellent question, human. Your Henrik Voss found me drifting in a damaged escape pod 3 years ago. My ship had been destroyed by Galactic Council forces during their final cleansing campaign. Rather than turn me over for execution, he brought me here. He imprisoned you. He offered me a choice. Nora approached the cage's edge, her movements fluid despite her imposing size. Surrender to Council justice and face vivisection, or remain here until I could find another way. Alexander's mind raced. Harboring a Vorthak was treason of the highest order. The TCA would classify this as a Class 7 extinction threat. Protocol demanded immediate reporting and orbital bombardment of the site. Why didn't you escape when Henrik died? Nora's scarification pulsed deeper crimson. This cage responds only to the one who activated it. Upon Henrik's death, it should have released me automatically. Her 6 arms spread in a gesture of frustration. Yet here I remain. Alexander examined the cage's base and found a biometric scanner designed for human hands. A backup protocol. Henrik hadn't trusted even his alien guest completely. The scanner showed green, indicating it would accept any human's touch to release the lock. You could have told me this immediately, Alexander said. Why didn't you? Because I wished to measure you first. Nora's primary eyes fixed on his. Your species fascinates me. Henrik spent 3 years bringing me books, showing me human art and philosophy. He spoke of your capacity for both creation and destruction, your ability to show mercy to enemies. Alexander's finger hovered over the scanner. Every instinct screamed danger. The TCA had drilled into him the Vorthak threat assessment. Superhuman strength, enhanced reflexes, natural weapons, tactical genius. Releasing Nora could mean his death and potentially the deaths of thousands more. But Henrik had made this choice 3 years ago. A hermit, a recluse, a man who'd chosen isolation from his own kind. Yet he'd shown compassion to humanity's greatest enemy. What will you do if I release you? Nora's patterns shifted to something Alexander couldn't interpret. I am the last of my kind, human. My people were warriors, yes, but we were also explorers, artists, philosophers. The Council's propaganda painted us as monsters to justify genocide. She stepped back from the cage's edge. I have spent 3 years learning about humanity through Henrik's teachings and your entertainment broadcasts. I have seen your capacity for growth, for change. If you release me, I will not seek revenge against those who destroyed my people. Instead, I will try to rebuild, not the warrior culture that led to our extinction, but something new. Alexander looked at the scanner, then at Nora. The smart choice was obvious. The safe choice was clear. He pressed his palm to the scanner. The crystalline cage dissolved like morning mist. Nora stepped forward. Her 6 arms spread wide as she breathed freely for the first time in 3 years. She towered over Alexander, capable of killing him before he could draw breath to scream. Instead, she knelt, bringing herself to his eye level. "Thank you," she said simply. Alexander nodded, his heart hammering. Henrik saw something in you worth saving. I hope he was right. Nora's bioluminescent patterns brightened. Your species has a saying, trust is earned. Perhaps it is time I began earning yours. As they climbed the stairs together, Alexander realized his search for solitude had ended. But perhaps he'd found something far more valuable. The chance to help write a new chapter in the story of 2 species learning to understand each other. The future, uncertain as it was, suddenly felt full of possibilities.